and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I had an idea and I wanted to do a quick video that kind of shows how I came up with my spending categories in my budget planner that I use for my weekly check-in. When I was first starting out, in 2019 and doing the Dave Ramsey Financial Peace University, which is what lit a fire under me to do budgeting and budgeting videos and sharing with other people, because I thought, wow, people must know. I mean, we need to support each other on having the best life possible, which means, taking care of our finances. Well, in order to take care of your finances, you need to know how you spend. And there's a lot of people who don't like looking at the bank statement, don't like looking at what they're spending, because after a while they're kind of ashamed of how they spent their money. And I think that's why, and they're like, we don't make enough and we just don't feel good about it. It just doesn't feel good. Something about it is uncomfortable. So I had to get over that fear and anxiety. And the best way I found to do it after I took the course was to really take a bank statement and truly look at what it was telling me, and do it with the trust that the Lord will grow our money in the future, and we can strive to be financially better, not to feel shame about what we've already done, because that's the past and it doesn't exist anymore, but to be positive on what we can do in the future. And that's how I overcame a lot of my anxieties about wanting to budgeting and wanting to get in control of our money and tell our money where to go, instead of our money telling us where we need to go and who we need to pay and giving it to everyone else but ourselves. So that's kind of what I want to do tonight. Today, I'm just going to show you how I discovered how much we were spending in groceries. And I have an actual bank statement here. You're going to recognize some of the numbers if you've seen my past weekly check-ins for the month of January. Into December, because my bank statement actually starts on the 27th of every month and then goes into the next month and ends on the 26th. So I have a few transactions here in December and then the rest are in January. So we're just going to go line by line. I'm going to zoom you guys in. I'm going to take my highlighters and I'm going to show you how you can discover what your spending categories are, or just by taking a look at your bank statement. It's a very easy process, and if it overwhelms you, only do the first step. Only do one step, which is deciding what do you want to discover. Do you want to discover how much gas you're spending every month for your vehicles? Do you want to decide how much groceries you're spending every month for your family? Do you want to discover how much eating out? And just work on that one and then put it aside, take a breather, and then come back later and then maybe total up the number when you get a little more brave to look at it. And then decide, is that number the number I want to spend? So that's what we're going to do today. I'm only going to do grocery. I call it grocery household because when I spend all of that in one category. I don't want to divide my receipts up. I always do it in one shopping trip. So grocery household is my category. Now, if you buy groceries one way and then use other stores or buy your household stuff separately, then I would separate the categories and then you can track from there. But right now, I'm just calling it groceries because that's how I shop, grocery household, and that's how I shop. And I make sure I budget high enough for that combined category. So let's go ahead and dive in. I'm going to zoom again and get started. Okay, I am back. So I think I'm close enough that you guys can see everything. I really hope so. To keep everything on the screen. So that's what I'm doing today. And you will, if you've seen my past weekly check-ins, you will recognize these numbers. These numbers are in my budget and I use real numbers from my bank account. I don't hide anything from you guys. They're exactly the same because it's how I budget and it's how I keep track of things. So I'm going to take this ruler. I have this little brass ruler here, gold, whatever you want to call it. It's not real gold, but from Erin Condren, and I'm going to, sorry about that, I had to get some water. My voice was cracking. So let's see. All right, I have this ruler here. I'm going to take this ruler and I'm just going to slowly go down each and every transaction. And when I come to a grocery one, I'm going to highlight it with one of my highlighters. So this, if you've seen my weekly check-in, is the color code system that I use. Groceries is pink And so I'm going to pull that one out, and I'm only going to look for groceries. I'm not going to go through my whole budget or anything like that. This is just to give an example on how to discover your spending patterns and what they are for your spending. I mean, it's very important to know how are you spending. Now, I have my account numbers covered and everything, but this is my actual bank account. And so we're going to slide this up and get all the transactions on here. And I'm just going to slide down. So I had these Apple purchases where I bought some music and things like that. That's a restaurant with Papa John's. Here we go. First grocery item is Food Lion. So I'm going to take this highlighter and I'm just going to highlight this, and I'm just going to highlight the word Food Lion. I don't want to do it all the way across because that just looks messy to me. Now this is where I bought some gas. This is a donation that we made. This is our tithing. Both of those are kind of tithing. This is where my husband got paid. Another payment is first of the month check. They came a little bit early for January. And then we had an Amazon purchase. Amazon usually means miscellaneous. I'm pretty sure that's not groceries, especially at that price. Let's see, Walmart, here we go. So this is grocery household. I know I buy grocery household stuff at Walmart, and there's that. And then PayPal, that was a miscellaneous purchase. Debit card here. Oh, the post office, that's what that was. Another Food Lion transaction, there we go. And I'll show you in last month's weekly check-in, if I can find it, it should be right next to me, these same transactions. So transferred from checking, debit card, Dollar General. Dollar General usually means groceries. So I'm gonna go ahead and highlight that, but I'll double check. Target, pretty sure that was just miscellaneous stuff. I don't shop at Target very often anymore because, well, I can overspend there in a heartbeat. It's just fun. I don't know why Target's more fun to shop at than Walmart, but it is. It just cracks me up. All right, so something I purchased on Amazon, Apple subscription, prepaid. Okay, that's my husband's. And then withdrawal, that was the YouTube savings. Debit card. So, oh, Walmart. Yes, I remember that was cereal. Cereal was so expensive. Papa John's restaurant, Food Lion. So another Food Lion purchase. And then let's see here, more bills. Another Food Lion. There we go. The cool thing is, if you are doing this and looking at your different purchases and you think it through a little bit, you can tell where you're spending and where you're not spending. And I'm trying to figure out what I want to say. And when you're looking at the previous month, you can kind of guess from the previous month how much to kind of budget for in the next month. And that's how I got started. When I started with David, instead of coming up with a budget of how much to spend, I took like an average. I actually took 3 months and found all my groceries in the 3 months and then divided it by 3. And that was my average. And that's what I budgeted for. And for 3 months straight, I just spent like I normally did. And I noticed the more I went to go spend, the more I was rethinking, okay, do I need to buy this or is this a want? And because of that, my spending habits change when I was thinking, is this a need or is this a want? And that made a huge difference on how much I was spending every month. And when I discovered that I didn't want to split my receipts, because I used to split household and groceries in the beginning, and I despised it, and I just despised it. I hate doing it. I realized I need to combine that category and make it large enough to take care of those items. Let's see. Here we go, Dollar General. And that's how I discovered how to budget a category. Is I found the most common thing that I have and I just budget it. and made it a category. At first, I started out making it a grocery category and whatever the groceries were. And then if they were random kind of miscellaneous items, then I would call it, Amazon purchases. And I would budget for so much in Amazon purchases. And then once I got that under control, it was Amazon and any different miscellaneous stuff, or it was Etsy and Amazon and things like that, which is where we buy our random stuff from all the time. Let's see, T-Mobile, give debit card transaction. I don't see Amazon digital debit card. Oh, Harris Teeter, $32. And then I should have another Harris Teeter. Oh, there it is. And there. Okay. Okay, there's that. And then this, and that's the ending. All right, so now that I've done that, I can go through, and if you have a lot of highlights because of groceries, and you're overwhelmed at this stage, which I was the first time, and then what I did the first time was to just sit there and go, oh my goodness, look how many times I went to the grocery store, look how much I spent, just seeing all the different transactions. That overwhelmed me. I hope I forgot to highlight that. And so I actually put the papers down, and then the next day I went, okay, I'm just going to take the first page and just write those numbers down. And then the next day I did more, and I finally got brave enough to total up the whole thing. And so here, I'm just going to get a notepad real quick. And even though I've done this in my budgeting, I'm just going to show you. Get a simple piece of paper. You don't need anything fancy. You don't need budget sheets. Just pen and paper and just write it out. And just take those highlighted numbers, and which stores they are. So just go through and write the numbers. 59.31, 144.22. And then I started thinking, well, God, you were amazing enough to bless us with the income to cover these purchases. I didn't use a credit card. If you did use a credit card, that's okay. He's still protecting and providing by giving you the income to maintain your credit card. But if you're wanting to get out of debt, you just kind of go, Lord, hey, help me with this. Reframe my mind and my thoughts on how I spend. Do not feel shame in this process. Do not go and put yourself in a negative position, because then you're not going to get anywhere. So I started going, I'm just going to thank you that I did this, and now I'm looking at it, and you're going to guide me through this. And then what I learned in church, as I was listening to some sermons, anything that we squander, anything that we regret that we did and just missed out or should have done better on, God is so good that He can, recover that. He can definitely bring you back around and start from wherever you're at right here, right now, and make it better going forward. Because the past is already gone. You can't change what you've already done, but you can change what you're doing. And He definitely is amazing in helping in that area. So that is why I bring faith into my budgeting, because He did that for us. We went from $60,000 worth of debt a year before my husband retired, and then which was January 1st, 2017, we were in $60,000 worth of debt. And then again, that was the second time we were in that debt. And then we took Financial Peace University in 2019. And I had paid off some debt before that point, but when I took that course and just refocused my mind on focusing on debt and still taking care of all the other needs and really compartmentalizing the money, we just flourished. It was just amazing. It was amazing. So, and the growth and the multiplication of income and things like that happened almost overnight, because we we were fine-tuning and honing what we were spending on what we really valued and what we really loved, not just spending just to get the high and enjoy the spending. That's not what we were doing anymore. And I think that's what we were doing before. We were just spending because we were bored or because we felt left out, or there wasn't a lot and we wanted to feel like we had something. So, that was kind of the mindset we were in. And when you change your money mindset, miracles happen. And I absolutely love it. So let's kind of get this over here. All right, I think that's a little bit better. So we're just going to total this up right here. I'm going to give you the number and we're just going to kind of go from there. Be right back. Okay, here we go. So right here you see $824.71. Now, because my bank statement runs from the 27th to the 26th, there's going to be a few extra charges on the last few days of the month as far as this number and in my January budget sheet. So let me grab that. Okay, so here's my January budget sheets, $918.59. But see how close that is? Total wise, like I said, this ended on the 27th, so we had the 28th, 29th, and 30th, and I had some shopping and we had some snow. So there was definitely a big jump just because I was buying for myself and actually for a friend for the winter or for the snow that came in, and so it's more than this number, but this is the average. This is what I average, especially when my husband's not home for grocery household items. Good news, he is coming back though, and it's on Valentine's Day. He flies in on Valentine's Day, which is kind of nice. And so that is how I began budgeting. That's how, simply, without any budget sheets, without any other things except for the tools I learned in Financial Peace University, which is a great course. There's a lot of churches that offer it. I think they offer it online. Oh, hit my lamp over here. They offer it online, things like that. If you want to attend and join and discover it, I do recommend that. It's a really good financial understanding and a safe place to go to learn this stuff. So that is how I first budgeted. I just took a category that I knew where I shopped and where the things were going. And then I took the highlighter method and a bank statement and said, hey, where's the money going? What happened this month? And then once I learned how to do this and look at the bank statements and not allow myself to feel negative about it, and just go, hey, this happened, but that's okay because God provides in the future, and I'm just going to let him do his thing, and I am going to walk this with him and then let him guide me in this. So that's what I did here, and I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad I went through this. Now, you can do this with a lot of things. If you don't know how to categorize anything specific, then just say if you have a lot of transactions, like I have several Apple transactions, you can just go through and write Apple and what the total was there. And then go through if you have a lot of Etsy transactions and just write Etsy and make that a category until you realize what categories you can combine together. Separate them all out when there's a lot of transactions from one place. So if you have a lot of transactions at Target, just put everything Target and then take a look. Am I buying groceries there? Am I buying clothes there? Am I buying household there? Am I buying toiletries there? What am I buying at that store, and how can I categorize it? Is this something I can split the receipt up between two different categories? Things like that. And just take your time. Be kind and gentle to yourself especially if it's something negative or uncomfortable for you to look at. Just be loving to yourself when you do it, and just know you do not have to feel negative or shame or any of those things when you're looking at your budget, because everything in the economy of God can be recovered, and he can protect and provide. And that's what I trust. That's how I have gotten to where I'm at, where I'm fully funded for 3 months. All our consumer debt is paid off. Our credit card stays paid off every month. And we are starting Roth IRAs. For me, my husband has his own. He has his retirement check from the military, and all the opportunities that are being presented before us. And we're able to give to others and whoever we can give to. So yeah, it's an amazing thing on what God can do with finances. And I know I'm talking about the Lord a lot in this video, but I just felt like somebody might needed to hear this. And if you did, please, give this a thumbs up, put a little emoji, a happy face emoji in the comments below if this helped, and if this spoke to you in any way. And I just really want people to understand that they don't have to feel that way about their money or looking at their bank account, because it shouldn't be a negative thing. It should be a positive thing. And you can start right where you're at and move forward from there. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.